be chopping blade.
What's up, everybody? Chris with Chopping Blades. Hey, I told you guys anytime I figure out a fix for this EXMARK mower, I'm gonna show you guys that has one or interested, because there's not too many videos on the internet with fix it, you know, how-tos and stuff. So anything I do by myself, I'm gonna show you how I did it, just in case you have that problem too. So without all that talking, we finna get right back to it. Oh, I need to get something to prop this end up with. Get that propped up. Oh, and I know the lighting is bad, but when I show you what I'm doing, I turn the flashlight on. That access panel off. What I'm replacing is the drive belt tension pulley. Here's the old one that came off mine. As you can see, there's no pulley. It came all apart, it exploded. Okay, so the kit comes with a spring, 2 bearings, this arm here, the nut on both ends, and a black, small black pulley as such that goes on top of here, right? Okay, the way I did this, it probably wasn't the right way, but I got it done anyway. So who can tell me it's the wrong way if I got it done, right? So what I'm replacing is that black pulley. You see this little fan piece right here? That black pulley right there, right with the light, where the light is shining. This is your drive, this is your trans, you know, this is your drive belt. And it just put tension on the belt, you know, to give you a drive. So you start by up under here. I can't get a good picture of it. That bolt right there, take that off. That arm, you see the arm below this black pulley right here? That arm it slides out of that hole that's connected to the transmission. Now, this is where you have to be careful. There's a spring. I don't know if you can even see it, man. Dang. See, this is what I'm trying to show you, is because it took me like 2 hours to do it because it was so complicated and I couldn't get it. But there's a spring connected to that arm, and my kit came with a spring, but the spring connects all the way here on this other side, and I don't even know how you would you would have to drop this whole trans in order to get to that spring. So this is why I'm showing you, because I feel like I found a faster, cheaper than taking it to the dealer way of doing this. So anyway, yeah, it comes out of the hole right there. Oh, and I got the old bearings in there too. I couldn't get them out, and they seemed perfectly fine, so I just left them in there. There's one on the top and one on the bottom where I showed you where you take the bolt out first. Okay, now, yeah, so you pull that arm out, it's gonna come smooth out, and you try not to disturb that spring. And then you turn the arm, you know, as such it's a little hole on top of that arm that has the spring connected to it. You easily get it out of there so it won't disconnect on this side, but it'll disconnect off this arm. Once it disconnects off the arm, you get your new one, and you're gonna put your black pulley on it. It comes separate, so you gotta put it together. Put your black pulley on that arm, and when you put this one back in here, don't put it back in the hole. Get your spring, and you're gonna have to, I had to do it with my needle nose pliers. Get your needle nose pliers, work it into that hole. Once you work it into that hole, it's gonna have tension on it, so when you go to put that arm back off in that hole, it's gonna be hard for you to do it by hand. So what I did was, I believe that's a 7/16 bolt that's on top of here. I already had it on my ratchet. I just put it on top of that bolt on top of this pulley, and then I just pushed it forward until it got to the hole, and then the rest of the way I had good leverage and it just dropped down in the hole. So if you're gonna change out your bearings, you do that before, obviously, before you put the arm in there. But I didn't. Slid the arm in there, got it in there, and it's all tensioned up. You got your spring on there, and it's already on the belt. You tighten up your bolt on the bottom, and you're done. Man, and explaining that, it sounds so fast and quick and easy, but it wasn't. Like, it took me a long time, and I was like, man, I couldn't film doing it because I didn't know what I was doing. So I didn't know how the video would go if I didn't too much know what I was doing or getting myself into in the first place. So yeah, the kit was like $80. You couldn't get the pulley by itself. It had to come in the whole kit. It had to come in this whole kit. Oh, and it has instructions in it also. But I mean, the instructions are about like I'm telling you, you know, they make it seem like it's just, oh yeah, just pull that out and put that in and you're good to go. No, not at all. See, so it starts by saying, you know, you take your nut off. It's on there like this. This is the reverse angle from what we was looking at. We was looking at the back side, this side back here. That's where the access panel is. This is where the arm and the pulley is, right? And so see, this is where I was talking about that spring is connected right there, back there. There's no hand space whatsoever to get back there and get that and unhook that spring. So you don't, when you unhook the spring from the arm right here, just let it hang freely. Don't push it back or make it dislodge from the hole, because it should be fine. But yeah, so you take your bolt from the bottom of it, the whole arm slips out, disconnect the spring from it. Then you put your new one in there, which is going to have your pulley and your arm. And if you want to put your bearings at the top, one at the top, one at the bottom, you can put those in there. Yeah, and then you put that spring back in the hole on the arm. And then when you get the arm back off in that hole, you put your ratchet on top of this nut here and push over, and it should fall right in the hole. Put your bolt back on the bottom and you're done. But see, they got it where it's like, oh, okay, well, you know, once you pull that out and you take your spring out, and then you put your new spring in. But like, how are we even supposed to get back there to put that spring on? That it makes no sense. Like, and they was like, well, if the hole is wallered out like this, if the hole is wallered out like that, then they were saying like you could drill a new hole to put your spring in. But I mean, like, there's you literally have to drop this whole trans just to get to that spring right there. So I feel like I did something that maybe, you know, is good for homeowners or you know, if you're in a pinch real quick to do it, because I know that if you take it to a dealer or a shop or whatever, they're going to drop that whole trans and the axle and all that just to do the job I did. But like I said, the spring I had was still springy and had a lot of tension on it, and so it really wasn't no reason to replace that. And the bearings that go off in one at the top, one at the bottom, it was sliding real good, so there was no reason to really you know, mess with that. But started it up, pushed the drive, and everything works just fine. I got good pull now. Before it wouldn't make it up the trailer gate. I'm sure it will now, because I could feel the torque in it when I, you know, pushed the drive. But yeah, didn't mean to make it this long, man, but I'm just trying to help out somebody, because like I said, it's not too many fix-it videos on these mowers. I guess everybody's not really having problems with their mower, but I am. So this is for you. Chopping blades out.
Friends, good morning. I am going to make a new video on my YouTube channel, and please subscribe. Please subscribe.